Hey folks, today we're going to do a lesson on what I think is one of the most important things you can learn with any GIS system. We're going to learn it today in QGIS, so let's go ahead and get started. So you'll notice here that I have 5 point features displayed as these black plus signs. Okay, and this is an area in California. These represent the locations of buildings, but that's not what's important. The thing is, you can do this with any point feature, any polygon feature, any line feature, basically any set of vector data that represents something. This is going to take your GIS game to a new level. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I've displayed these in GIS. Now, let's say there's a data set somewhere that has information about all of these buildings, and I want to bring it in and link it so that I can do either spatial analysis or I can display these points with those data. This is something super common that you need to do. A lot of times your data aren't always in spatial format, but you can link them to spatial format. So you'll notice in my table of contents I have 3 layers. The first down here, the bottom one, is OpenStreetMap. That's just my base map. Then I have these points, CA points, California points. These are my black plus signs. And then I have this ATS, ATTS, the limited text file here. So let's go ahead and open that up. And when I open this up, you can see that I have an ID and I have some values. I just made these data up. Okay, I have these values for each one of those. When I open up my CA points, which I also just made up, I'm going to open this up, and you can see I have an ID here. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to do a join. I want to join my attributes to my points so that I can use those attributes spatially. The points contain spatial data. The attributes contain values and tabular data. I want to link those up, and this is super powerful. It's super simple and super powerful. So we're going to learn how to do that, and it's really easy to do. Now, I want to talk quickly about the inverse of this, and that is getting data out of GIS, out of QGIS. And so a lot of times you're going to have spatial data that have values associated with them, but you want to do some significant, sophisticated analysis with those values that you can't do in QGIS. Maybe you want to do something in R, and so you need to export the values from that shapefile. I've already done a video on that, and I'll link it up in the description. It's how to export attributes to CSV from QGIS. Okay, this is the inverse of that. This is joining attributes from a CSV to a shapefile. Now, if you're not sure how to get points or attributes into QGIS like I've done already, go ahead and check out my course on QGIS, and that will help you get started. I cover things in depth there, and I also have all the data you'll need to get started so you can follow along with the entire course. So if I want to do a join here, what I need to do is open up the properties for my points layer, for my spatial layer. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to properties. And you'll notice over on the properties tab that or in the properties window, that I have a joins tab. I'm going to go click on joins here. And I'm going to create a join. I'm going to click add. Now I'll ask what layer I want to join to. And I have attributes here, which is the limited text layer, which is what I want to join to. I'm going to select the join field, and this is for my attributes. I want to join an ID, and I want to select the target field. This is the one that matches up, and I want to select ID there as well. It's the only field I have. Now, I'm just going to leave all this the same. Okay, you can come down to join fields, and you can select individual fields. We're just going to join all of them, and we can add a custom prefix name, and this is just going to be what comes before the fields, so the fields that are joined. And so, for example, when I join this, this will say J underscore value 1, value 2, value 3. And the reason that exists is just to help you keep things straight if you're dealing with large tables and multiple joins. So you can have a different prefix for each join. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as J underscore, and I'm going to click OK. And you can see when I do that, I now have this value up here. I have this join layer, and I have that it's joined to my ATS table. Okay, so we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and click OK. Now, I'm going to open up my attribute table for the CA points again. And now you'll notice that I have my joined values as part of that shapefile. Okay, so now we have those and we can use those to display something. So for example, if I go to my symbology and I go to graduated and I select this as value 1 and I want to do it like this and I classify it and I click OK, you can see now that my points are classified based on that field. Alright, they're symbolized based on that field. And you could even do further analysis here if you wanted to. Now, I cover this a lot more in depth in the QGIS Beginners course, and so if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and check that out. I hope you found this useful with joins. This is something that's super powerful with QGIS. More so than any of the functionality in here is the ability to join spatial and non-spatial data together to have great visualizations and do additional analysis. Like I said, if you're interested in how to export a join or export data from QGIS, check out the other video on how to export attribute tables from QGIS. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found this useful. Please subscribe if you find this useful. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate you guys watching.